Hey, Stampers, Diane Dimich here with DDStamps.com. And today is Thursday, July 11th, 2024. It's pretty bad that I had to think of the year. But if you're out there, give me a shout out. Let me know. I think I am live on YouTube and on Facebook, according to my computer on this end. So that's awesome. I just need somebody to give me a thumbs up or a comment. Let me know that you can see and hear me. And which I'm sure you can't. So anyway, it was Jana that contacted me and said, I'm having a hard time finding your videos after the fact. So could you please let us know what the date is, the day that you do it at the beginning, so that you know that you're at the right spot at the right time. So yes, this is Thursday, July 11th, 2024. Anyway, I hope that people can see and hear me. Anyway, oh, yep, got a thumbs up. Thank you. All right, so I hope everybody had a good 4th of July. As you know, I did not do a live last week because it was 4th of July, number one. But 4th of July in small town Montana is huge and goes on from July 1st till whenever everybody goes home. Yay! I'm glad you're here, Jana. Cool. Yeah, so like I said, 4th of July goes, it's like a whole week. So by Sunday, I was exhausted. Hey, Sharon, good evening to you too. But I'm here tonight and I'm excited. I have lots of stuff to show. As I told you at the end of June, I was going to do Christmas in July. So tonight we're actually using a new stamp set suite from Stampin' Up called Seasons of Green and Gold. So I'm looking forward to that. I've got lots to show you. Please remember, you can always ask questions in the comment box. I can see them. Maybe not when I'm stamping, but I usually can be able to scroll through and see if I missed a question or a comment. And if you have something that you want me to answer that maybe you think I missed it or I didn't see it, let me know. Ask it again or just give me a heads up. I am telling you right now, I'm getting comments from YouTube. I don't know if anybody can see me on Facebook, but that's, hopefully you can. It says, according to my information, it says you can, but how that goes. Technology and me, not such a good thing. All right, I'm going to switch over to my camera by my desk, and we're going to talk about the cards that I received this week. And just as a reminder, I am still doing the Summer Stampin' Fun, where you earn tickets in my bucket. My beach bucket here is getting full. You earn a ticket for sending me a card, and you earn a ticket for every $20 that you order. So we'll be drawing for that tonight. So this card here is beautiful. This is from, yay. Brittany, my daughter-in-law, is on Facebook, and she says she can see and hear me. And she's the only one on Facebook watching, so there you have it. Yay! Okay. Hi, Karen. Great. More people coming on. All right, so this card was sent to me by Anna Southern. She is one of my downline in Stampin' Up downline, and it's very cute, very pretty, very peachy. Have a peachy day. And this one, I think I show a Leanne card every month, at least every month, sometimes twice. Leanne sends me a check in the mail for anything that she's ordered. But I love this card. I loved how she used this designer series paper and then the stamp set. Just a really easy, fun layout. Excuse me. And I do love this. I always make my insides the whole size of the card. I like it smaller. So thanks for that little tip. And she also, as you see, has a little strip of designer series paper along the edge there. And an embossing folder. She did a lot on that. This one is from Diana Knapp, who has been stamping with me for a very, very long time. And this was just because card, because she was so happy I was back to doing YouTube videos. So welcome back, Diana. I'm glad that I'm here. And then this one is from a friend of mine up in Billings, Tina. Her and another good friend of mine, Carla, get together and stamp, I think, almost every Monday. And one of these days I'm going to get down to Billings and stamp with them because it's been too long. I don't know if you can see that, but she also used the Wink of Stella on the bottle, which has texture, and on the flowers. So that was fun. I've got some other cards to show you. pull them out here. I tried to be as organized as I could be, but you know how I am. Oh, so this was the card I showed last time in the end of June, but really an easy card. And if you look on my website, you will find the instructions for this card. I love that card. This is my tutorial for this month. Uses the Lily Pond. I think it's called Charming something. Anyway, it's the ducks. And so my tutorials each month, you get the PDFs and all the supplies, including the ribbon and embellishments that I may have used, excuse me, to complete the cards. So these are them. I loved it. I love this paper. I wasn't sure I was going to like it when I first saw it, but I love it now. And you can see I decorated the insides of my cards too, because I can. Oh, and this is one too. This one's cute. I don't know why. I just really like that fish. Ended up kind of cute. So that's my tutorial. And we have one more card here from someone. Oh, another one from Tina. Tina sent me a check, and then she had to send me another one with another check in it. So I ended up getting 2 cards. It's always nice. Oh, hi, Sylvie. I'm glad you're here. So this is a cute card. This watermelon card, this is a Stampin' Up stamp. And then I think the watermelon might have been a stamp. I don't know if it's current now, or maybe it was current. Maybe it was a celebration item. Could have been. Anyway, those were the stuff I got. If you're on my email list, you know that I just announced another stamp camp that I'm going to do. This is something totally different that I've never done before. It's a stamp camp online. It will happen on July 20. Let me find the date, just a second. The stamp camp will happen on July 27th. And so anyway, this is just one of the projects I just want to show real quickly because I think it's really cute. So the stamp camp has lots of big projects. It's like my sampler that I made, my wall hanging, a set of cards, a box, birdhouse box. We're using the birdhouse, country flowers, and country birdhouse stamp sets and dies. And so this is one of the projects. This turns out to be a really cute little note box for note cards. But look at these note cards, you guys. They're so cute. And when you open them up, look at that. So anyway, this is just one of the projects. Comes with 4 little note cards. So what I'm going to do on that particular day, I won't show them all. You get it. What I do on that particular day is you will get a packet of supplies from me that week, which will include like a half a package of designer series paper, 2 different kinds of designer series paper half packs, a spool of ribbon, the baker's twine, embellishment, all the cardstock, all the project stuff you need. You can sign up. You can get the sampler with or without the frame. Anyway, a lot of stuff. And then on that particular day, I'll actually be doing a live presentation and stamping with you. Not the whole day, but I will come on and we will do a project. And then I might go away for a little bit while you finish up and then come back with like in the next hour or so to go on to the next one. So that was my plan with that. So tonight, if you want to know more about that, look at my website because all the information's in there. And I did send out an email. So if you're not on my email list, you should get on my email list because there's a lot of stuff going out on that. All right, so tonight we're using the Seasons of Green and Gold. And this is a new product from Stampin' Up. It's part of our online exclusives. For those of you who don't know, online exclusives are just products that Stampin' Up designs and comes out with that aren't in a catalog, and you can only really see them online. And so it's a great place to see exactly what's new. In fact, I'm going to go on there tonight and kind of show you online exclusives. And I laughed because when I brought it up on my laptop like 15 minutes ago, I'm like, oh, I didn't know we were carrying those now. So they put stuff up a lot. But it's a nice way to stay trendy and have new products coming. So this is the Seasons of Green and Gold Designer Series paper. And as you can see in the video, I hope you can see, it's very shiny and shimmery and gold. Now this piece right here, this is gold on the back. But this is all I have left of the plaid because I really like the plaid, and you'll see tonight that I used it on several projects. And I also cut out a bunch of these, so I've really used this paper a lot. But you get that, and then you get this side, which these are really, they're just beautiful. I love the colors there. It's Mossy Meadow, excuse me, let me put these down. Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, and Garden Green are the colors that go with this. And then this is the Graceful Greenery Vellum. So this is vellum, again with that branch on there. So you get, you can see through it. You can see that it's vellum. You get a vellum with a print on it, just a white print. And then this one here. And actually this packet of paper comes with 2 of each of the vellum. And I actually cut them out. Let me show you what I did this weekend. This is what happens when you set yourself up a new area and everybody goes home, and then pretty soon I've got time to cut out. So what I did is I took the Designer Series paper, that's these 2, and this is the vellum, and I actually cut them all out. I took a sheet of each and cut all of the images out, and then I went down to my local Family Dollar, picked up these nice little organizers for lunch that are going to be great little organizers for cut out bits and pieces, so that when I make projects, I have them and they're ready to go. I just love the images. So what I did is I cut a full sheet. So I still have a full sheet mostly, except for that darn plaid, of the other stuff. All right. So let's get started. I'm going to show you the first card. Now I did this afternoon spend some time cutting my cardstock so that we were ready to go. Oh, it's the Seasons of Green and Gold. So it also, in that suite, has these cute little pearl berries and cherry cobbler pearl berries, which I use those in some of the projects I've done. I just wanted to show them. And then it also comes with some vanilla ribbon, thick satin ribbon that I have misplaced. So it's here in my stamp room somewhere. Eventually it will show up. But I chose for this particular project to use this woven ribbon, which is ivory, and it's just thinner. And I kind of liked it for the projects that I was doing. The satin ribbon I probably would use more if I was wrapping a gift or something bigger. I don't know. When I find it, I'll use it, and then I'll show it to you. All right. So like I said, the colors that we use tonight are, the greens are Garden Green, Old Olive, and Mossy Meadow. Hi, Cindy. All right, so I took a piece of 8.5 by 11 and I cut it in half and then scored it in half, and that gives me my basic card size. And then I took a piece of this gold foiled paper, and it is 4 by 5 1/4. And I will tell you that PDFs of these projects will be posted on my website either tonight or tomorrow, but I'll send it out in an email so that people know it's there. So you can just go to my website and print off a copy of the PDF. It'll have all the measurements and the products that I used. Hi, Linda. All right, so I just adhered that to the front of my card. And then I'm going to go ahead and use this. And this is a 4, I think it's like 2 1/4 piece. And again, looking in my stash of cut products here, pull a couple out. When I did, just so you know, when I did these, I actually even cut the edges off of some of them that were along the edge of the paper. I cut them all. I wanted as many as I could get in all different sizes, because as I put my projects together, you'll see they don't all have to be perfect. All right, so I'm just going to use 2 of the cut images. And then I'm going to stamp this greeting. So on these projects, I guess I should have showed this too. Sorry. This is the sentiment set, Greetings of the Season, which I love the font in this. I love the different, it's so varied that you can mix and match them up. Use them, use Merry Christmas together with the same font, or switch it up and use Merry Christmas with 2 different fonts. This inside greeting is beautiful. That font is gorgeous. So I use that a lot. I'm going to use the dies that come with the sentiments, because look at those labels. You get tons of them. I'm actually going to show tonight, I don't even think I made one with a label, but I'm going to show a different way to use one of these dies. Actually, two of the dies I used in the projects tonight, but those are the labels. This is a great label set. Now, this is the stamp set, so it's golden greenery. And as you can see, it's a two-step stamping, which when I first started stamping, two-step stamping was my favorite. I love the fact that you could take two stamps and stamp them in the same color or two different colors or stamped off a little bit and get a great looking image. And then this one comes with the dies, which has all the images that you're cutting out of your stamp set, as you can see there. And then it has another sheet that these are just big pieces. And I'll show you some projects done with actually both of them. So there's two branches and then these two viney looking things, which don't actually coordinate. You know, they don't cut out these images. These cut out those images. So it's just a great set. It has a lot of functionality to it. You could do a lot with that, but I'm going to show that in a minute. All right, so I'll start with a stamp. It's obviously photopolymer, as you can see. Take this stamp, a block. And on this one, I'm going to use garden green. So I got my garden green ink pad. I'm just going to stamp this at the bottom of this tag, which is not a tag, it's just a 4 by 2 1/4, I believe. And then I'm going to use some, I'm going to put this away before I have green ink on everything. I'm going to use some linen thread, and so I'll go ahead and cut some of this off and find a scissor. Is it too early to think about Christmas? I will tell people that I kind of debated, but then I'm like, yeah, Christmas in July is kind of a thing. However, in Red Lodge, as you know, last week during 4th of July, our weather was not very nice. It was chilly, it rained, it was just the typical 4th of July for Red Lodge. I can't complain. And then today hit, and we hit 90 today, which for our little town up here in the mountains, 90 is a lot. And it looks to me as if we're going to be up in the very high 80s for at least the next 10 days. So that heat wave that's working its way across the country has finally come here. And I'll be honest, I'm kind of thankful that it wasn't 90 on 4th of July, because I have so many people here. You know, I got to be on my game, and I did not want to be dying of heat. So, all right, so what I'm going to do is I just tied that linen thread around there and tied it in a little bow. And then I'm going to take the little images that I cut out here already. And this one, I'm just going to lay on there. So all I'm doing is I'm just laying it on there. It's not even on there straight. It's hanging off the edge, which is great. I just wanted it to kind of line up with the knot of my bow. And then this second one, I'm actually going to use some of these mini glue dots, which you could use mini or regular. This is a big enough cutout piece that I just used mini because they were the first thing I grabbed that I could see. And once I've got this done, I'm just going to slide that one under there too. Make sure it's up high enough so that it doesn't cover up my season greeting. And it just gives it a little bit of texture and some lift. And then this piece, so one of the ways that I kind of adhere things when I have ribbon is I put adhesive on both sides of whatever the thread is, Baker's drawing thread, ribbon. And that just kind of keeps it in place. Put that in the middle. And then we're going to use some of these clear pearls, because I have a ton of them. And they're kind of iridescent. They're kind of pretty. And I think they look good on this. What do you think? So there's the first card. Super easy. Now on this one, I actually stamped the inside. I didn't cut cardstock for the inside, but I will. And I used that saying from the inside the stamp set. So here's card number 1. Card number 2. This is one of my favorites, and I know it has everything to do with the colors of it. I used to chuckle because my husband always said green was my favorite color. No matter what I got from him, it was normally green. And I always thought, why does he think green's my favorite color? But then I started playing with this paper, and I'm like, oh, maybe green is my favorite color. I had once painted our kitchen in green and wallpapered it. It was green. I just find it funny. But I think Night of Navy is a true favorite too. So, all right. So I just took a piece of the designer series paper, and that's that plaid that I love. I wish I could order lots more of that. It is actually 4 by 5 1/4, and then I just attached it to a regular card base that's half a sheet of cardstock. So it's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and folded. That's how you get that piece. Now the next piece comes from these great labels. So I used this label and this paper. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out a label, and then I'm going to flip it over on this side and just cut out a small section of a label. So that's how I got that band. That band looked, it's actually a label. And I tied the ribbon right through the holes of the label. So just hang on a second while I run this through my die cutting machine. I don't like to do it at the table because it gets too shaky. It's not good for the camera. It's not good for you guys. I don't want your car sick. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut one label, and then I'm going to flip it over. Here's one. I'm going to show you too how I did this one. After I get it cut out, I'll put it up on the screen so you can actually see how I did it. All right, so at that one I cut out a full label. This one, you can see that I lined it up this way. So I get a partial label. Okay? And once I've done that, come on. Did anybody see my label? Oh, it's stuck to the it's stuck to the big shot. All right, so this one, I'm going to go ahead and that is such pretty paper too. Look at that gold shimmer. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and line this up. And how I lined it up is I just used a line off the plaid because I figured that was straight. Okay, so I lined it up along this line here, just on part of it. Gonna put a little adhesive on this side, do the same thing. And that's how I got my band. And then I flipped it over. It says adhesive on it, so my scissor is sticking. Do the same thing on this side. And that's how you get your band. Check for questions. Green is your favorite color too, huh, Linda? Cool. You know, I kind of go in spurts. So I find myself every season going with the seasons of the colors that I like. But I have learned this week that Old Olive and Mossy Meadow are 2 of my favorites. They're beautiful. All right, so I did bring those through those holes. You wouldn't have to, because in the end, it's probably not going to show anyway. But when I was making this card, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. So I just put it through the holes because I can. I probably cut this ribbon way bigger than I needed it. So the ribbon that comes in this suite is like a fat, probably 3/4 inch satin. It's beautiful. And if I find it, I'll show it to you. But and it's soft, so it would easily tie on here, and it would make this very elegant looking. I'm just going to tie this in a regular bow. Nothing fancy. No real trick to show you. Once I get that done, then I go ahead and trim it. And I'm not using my sharpest scissors. Well, it's working though. There we go. I've been using my scissors out in the garden and stuff, and I keep thinking I have them separated, but I'm not sure. Anyway, so there you have the tie. That's how you tie your band. Then what I did is I took some more branches. So I'm going to use some of these gold branches. I'll use some of this, I don't know, kind of looks like it could be mistletoe, maybe. I don't know. And I basically did the same thing as I did in the first card. So I took this one and I put some adhesive on it and I tucked it right up under the bow so that it kind of hung down. And then this one I'm going to put on with dimensionals. And on this one I might even trim off like that stem because I wanted this to tuck up under there. I don't necessarily want it to stick up out there. So you just trim off the trim off the stem. And then attach that one on there. And then grab some bells. You know, and I kind of laughed when I saw these bells because I thought, oh, they're not me. However, using them on these cards, I love them. I find that kind of often. I just attach some bells. And there's card number 2. And then on the inside, again, I just did a 4 by 5 1/4 vanilla. You'll notice this cardstock, this designer series paper coordinates with white and vanilla. And it really depends on the designer series paper that you're using, but I found this to look more vanilla, and this is definitely vanilla. So I put vanilla on the inside. And I used that stamp set. This is probably, that's a good Christmas for your inside of your card. That's a good one. So card number 2 is done. I don't know where I'm putting these. Oh, there. All right, so the next card. Anybody have any questions? I know. I love them, Jana. I think they're so pretty. Now would be a good time if you have questions to ask, because I can see the comments. I'm going to show you quickly how you find the online exclusives, and I'll show you the new thing that I found, which I don't know if it's here, screen share. So when you go into the Stampin' Up! Store, you will see these products. And they're all listed. I'm going to scoot this over. Sorry. I need to. There we go. I'm just scooting it over because the way my computer's set up, I can't see this edge over here. So what I'm going to do is, if you come down this list, there's the online exclusives. So actually, this is like the Stampin' Up! Online store is really cool because it has everything broken out and everything else. Online exclusives, like I said, are only really found online. So I wanted to show you quickly. These are the things that I found today, these flip-flaps. So I don't know if you've heard, but Stampin' Up! Has acquired some of the patents from Close to My Heart. Close to My Heart closed in June, I think it was, end of June. Very sad for all those makers. But a lot of the makers, it was a huge number of makers in North America and Australia that came on with Stampin' Up! And so Stampin' Up! Is carrying some Creative Memories, or not, Close to My Heart's products that they had purchased for from the company for makers to sell as Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. I know it's kind of confusing, but it's you know, coming to an end soon. I think there's another release on August and then it's done. But flip flaps are one of the things that Stampin' Up! Bought the patent for, and it's for scrapbooking. So I don't know if you're scrapbookers. That's how I got started in this whole mess. And I'm excited to see how they work and what they are. So those were the new thing that I saw today was the flip flaps. All right, so go to online exclusives and you will see all the various items that Stampin' Up! Has in online exclusives. Oh, I better scoot this over. Oh, there's that darn set. All right, so this sophisticated sled set I just got. Like it arrived, I think, yesterday. I love it. I was a huge ice skater and sledder as a kid, and I cannot wait to play with that over the next couple days. So anyway, this is just you can kind of see we have Christmas and Halloween, and here's the Seasons of Green stuff. It's all in there. So if you really want to know, this is the whole collection of the Seasons of Green. So anyway, if you want to see what Stampin' Up! Has that's new and not anywhere else, go on to the online exclusives and you will be able to see everything that they offer, which is a lot. So that's cool. All right, back to demonstration. Nobody had any questions. All right. I'm gonna go switch because I have one more card to show. Did I don't know if I showed you. I think I did. I kind of rearranged. I have a desk, and I actually worked at my desk this week, and it was really cool when I was doing all these projects because my mess was kind of contained, and when I was looking for a punch or a color or something, it was always right there at my hand. And it's going to take me a while to get used to that, but I loved it. When I was like, oh, I don't have to get up and go across the room. It's right here. It makes a big difference. So let me... I did something. I don't know what I did. Oh, there. I changed my screen and all of a sudden I couldn't see what I needed to do. All right, so the last card I'm going to do, this is one of my favorites. And it's very easy, I think. So it's this one here, and it's a pocket. Oh, that one's right everywhere. It's a pocket card. So this is a little pocket with a card in it. You could actually add a gift card in there. You will see that it slides out the edges because I didn't do a lot of adhesive because it was going to be a tight fit and I wanted to make sure that I could actually get that piece of cardstock in there without it sticking to the adhesive. So let me show you how I did this card. I took a piece of designer series paper and I cut it. It's 4 inches this way and it's 10 3/4. So I just barely cut 1 1/4 inches off on one edge. And then I've got it scored. So you're going to score it at 5 1/2. No, 5 1/4. I better make sure it's 5 1/4. Yeah, 5 1/4. And then this has another score line that comes down, which is scored. So this one's at 5 1/4. This one's at 9 1/4. So there's 4 inches in between them. All right, so once you've done that, you are going to take your ribbon, and this time I just ran around it. Remember how I taught you that trick about ribbon? So 3 lengths, 1, 2, 3, will be enough to do a knot. I'm just doing a knot on this one. If you're doing a bow, you need 4. So you're going to lay this down here, wrap it around. Now when I do my knots, I hold this, bring this around, put it through, and then so your knot won't twist, you're going to take this little tail and you're just going to hold it down with your finger. And then you're going to pull this tail. And what you get is a knot that's flat. If I pull them both at the same time, that knot twists and makes it really bulky. And it doesn't really look good. So once I've done that, then I'm just going to have to trim, and you'll see, as I use my little trick, I didn't really cut off a whole ton of ribbon. I don't have a lot of extra, but I have just enough for that knot to show perfect. So that's how you do that. Then I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to add adhesive at the top, adhesive at the bottom. I know this is going to run out, I'm sure. Oh, there we go. And then I'm going to add some top and the bottom of that piece of ribbon. All right, so this piece that I'm layering this on is 1/4 of a sheet of cardstock, right? So it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And there's your card base. And then you're just going to take some pieces that I cut. Aren't you glad that you don't have to watch me cut these all out? And I know it's really fun. It's really fun to have a lot of choices because I have all these trays of stuff. And then all the vellum, which I didn't even use on these cards, but I have a project to show you with the vellum. All right, so again, as you can see, this little knob here is missing, right? So I want to make sure when I put this on here that I might not want to use that one. I can use this one with the cut off at the edge because that's going to be covered up with something else. So that's all you have to watch for. Yeah, this one works. This one's been cut off too, but it doesn't look like it has. All right, so I'm going to take my branches and stick them on there. And again, I am just watching the edge here, and I'm watching to make sure that the stem kind of gets to the knot. And then this one is going to kind of fan out a little bit. And then we have this piece of, to me, I don't know why, but it reminds me of mistletoe. I don't know. I'm going to use dimensionals. These little dimensionals here, they must have come from a paper pumpkin, because we don't get a full sheet in paper pumpkin. We just get a small sheet of them. However, I always use all my edges, and we always have extra. So I'm going to put that on there. A little bit of dimension, and then I'm going to take, I need to do this piece and this piece and this piece. All right, so the label. Again, I'm pulling off one of these labels, and I'm going to die cut that out. So I'm over here. Like I said, my die cut machine is next to me. Sorry, I need a drink of water. I took a big, huge drink of water before I got started, but my voice is, it's cotton season in Red Lodge. I don't know, do you guys have cotton trees where you are? The cotton that flies? Ugh. All right, so I cut out a little label. I'm going to grab a stamp. That one I used for you, but I'm going to use this little Love and Joy stamp because it's really cute. And block. And this time I'm going to use a little Old Olive. Stamp that on my little tag. And then I'm going to take some linen thread. I find myself using linen thread in bulk. Just using a whole bunch of it, so. Push this through here. I just put the loop through, and then I'm going to put the 2 ties through that loop, maybe. And then pull it. I'm going to close this up because I'm going to end up with Old Olive ink everywhere. And then put this under here. Maybe. Yeah. And I'm going to bring it towards my knot. and tie it in a bow. It's getting really hot in my stamper right now. I'm underneath these heavy lights, and I'm like, ooh. So I could just leave that tag just kind of hanging there and doing what it wants to do, but this one I actually put a little dimensional on it and stuck it so that it always stayed a little crooked. All right, and so then I have these two pieces, and this is a piece of mossy meadow, which is 5 by 3 3/4. And then this one would be 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. Like I said, those measurements will be up on PDFs either tonight or tomorrow. All right, this one, I'm actually going to use a couple of different stamps. I really liked how these fonts went together. So I'm going to use Merry and Christmas in 2 different fonts. With Old Olive ink. So we'll do the Merry first. And I just want to make sure that it's straight. People will say, why'd you go sideways? Sometimes it's easier to see under all this camera stuff that's around. And then I'll do the Christmas. Could have probably used a bigger block, but... And... again, it's easier to see. I feel like I don't have my head in the way. Oh, look, I didn't even watch it. I just love those fonts together. It's really pretty. And then that's going to slide in there, and I could actually put a gift card in there if I wanted to, but it will fit in an envelope and make a really cute Christmas card gift. I'm going to show a couple more projects that I did, and I'm not going to show tonight because otherwise we'd be here all night. So this one here, I think it's kind of a sample on the online exclusives. It's similar. Did a lot here. So I've got designer series paper, then I've got a piece of basic white, where on this one I used vanilla, so you can see the difference. Both colors work. It was fun to use the vanilla, especially with that ribbon. So these are vellum pieces. These are all vellum pieces. I used the die, this one here, this big one here, I used with the white, the vellum with the white splotches all over it. And I cut 2 of them, 1 on each side. You can see here I dropped my ink pad. That's why I get nervous about stamping in front of people. I cut some branches with the vellum. So again, I have lots of vellum pieces, branches and with different colors and stuff. And then a label. And then I had a little scrap of this mossy meadow. And I used this label, but you can see it's thinner. So I took a little strip. I should have saved one. Here, I'll cut one and show you. Let me cut this off for just a second here. All right, so let's say I don't really want a label this big, but I can take any piece of paper, any size, and what I do is, I'm just going to lay it out here. So I'm just making sure that these points are close to the middle. You barely see it there? And then I take some Post-it tape, which is a thing I love, and I will actually tape it to itself before I put it through the machine. So I can change my labels up to be all different sizes. That's just a trick that I did, and it was only because I wanted a label back here. I happened to have a strip of paper next to me and used it, using up my scraps. And then I used this label on here, and as you can see, it's got that great dotted edge. And I actually embossed this one. So I used Versamark white embossing powder and heat set it. And I just added all my little embellishments on there. It didn't take long. Once you have those pieces cut out, put it all together. Some of them are on there directly to the card. Everything is directly to the card except for this label is up by dimensionals. And then I add some of those berries in there, which just gave it a real nice pop. Love that. All right, then this was one of my favorite things. So you can see where I used the plaid. So this is going to be a framed piece. I'm not quite done with it. I might put a verse on there or something. I haven't decided yet, but I used vellum pieces and also cardstock pieces. So these are just those big branches in that die set. Grab them here. Well, there's two of them, two different sizes. I use these. And I cut them out in garden green and old olive. Excuse me. And I stamped them all with the image stamp of the branch. I used this one because it didn't have a whole lot of color to it. And just randomly stamped them on there. They're not lined up, nothing. I just wanted it to have a little bit of texture. And then I just glued them into a circle. So I laid them all out in a circle and then glued them on using glue dots. Little glue dots. And then once I got them where I really wanted them, I just added a few more dots because you can lift them up. Added some of those berries, a ribbon. And I've got it'll be a great piece when it's done. I love that. All right. Hi, Tanya. All right. Does anybody have any questions? I'm here. I'm trying to get the sweat off my face. Oh, it's not too bad. I thought I'd be like shiny completely when I came back on. It's really hot in this room. There's no air. I got a fan going, but I don't have an air conditioner in here. So with these lights on, it gets warm. All right. What do we got? So it is Summer Stampin' Fun. I've got to draw a name. Anybody that made a comment tonight, I'm going to add to a pot and draw one, and you'll get a gift from me in the mail. I will post into the comments of this video within a few minutes after I shut down because I want to get everybody's comments. I want to make sure I got everybody. How I do that is I just count up the comments and I put it into a random number selector, and whatever number comes up, that's the person that wins. So the more comments, the more chances you have of winning. I'm going to draw a name out of here for this. I'm going to draw two names because I didn't draw last week. So Marilyn Presley is winner 1 and winner 2. I got to mix these up because I just put a whole bunch more in here. Is Lorraine Randall. So those two will get a package from me. Which will be something fun. Stamps. I know I've got all kinds of stuff around here. So I've got packets from old workshops. I've got classes. I've got stamp sets. So I will make sure that those two get a gift. You can get into my drawing with a $20 purchase or send me a card and I'll share it online. That's that. It is also Stampin' Up! This month is giving a $5 coupon for every $50 order to use in August. Hope that makes sense. Did I forget anything? Does anybody have any questions? I would expect next week. Like I said, I just got this one. I love it. And I love this die set. I wasn't going to. I'm like, no, I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. Because, you know, we still have a holiday catalog coming out, too. And then I got it. So, Karen, that paper, both of the paper, the vellum and the Season of Gold and Green, they're beautiful papers. They're gorgeous. I can do so much with them. Anyway, anybody else? Any more questions? Anybody? I'm going to say goodnight. Take it easy. I will see you next Thursday. If you have a question, give me a call. If you're not on my mailing list, I would recommend you go to my website and sign up for it. www.DDStamps.com. Sign up for my newsletter. I send out at least one a week, sometimes more, depending on what kind of classes I'm offering. Or Stamp Camp. Stamp Camp is new this time, so check that one out. That's going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of great projects I made with that birdhouse and the country flowers. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate it, and I will speak with you soon. Take care. And I can't figure out how to shut her down. There we go.